When you see other people confidently setting boundaries, sharing their opinions, or saying no without flinching, do you ever look at them and think, must be nice? I wish I was wired that way. It's easy to look at self assured people and assume that they possess some kind of special sauce that you just didn't get. But I promise you, that isn't the case. When you think about speaking up for yourself and how the other person might receive it, what are your first thoughts? Do you start to think about what the other person is going to say and how they'll disapprove? Maybe you start having feelings of regret before you even open your mouth? Do you play out the whole scenario in your head, imagine their reaction, and think, you know what? It's just easier if I keep my mouth shut. I don't really need to say anything. If you've ever felt that way, you're in the right place. In case we haven't met before, my name is Christina Solis, and I help you find your words, feel heard, and step into your power. So let's talk about why walking away from a tough conversation, feeling good about it, and genuinely proud of yourself might feel like a fantasy right now. The truth might actually surprise you. It's not because you lack courage, and it's not because you're a people pleaser. The real reason why it seems tricky to feel good after being assertive is because you're trying to solve a physical, chemical reaction in your body with pure logical thinking. Logically, you know you have a right to ask for something, and you know you don't owe anyone an apology just for having an opinion. But the moment you step forward to speak up, your body doesn't care about that logic. Your nervous system is stepping into new territory. Suddenly, your brain perceives a bit of friction as a massive threat. Your heart starts racing, your stomach knots up, and your system floods with adrenaline just to get you through the conversation. And then you're done talking. And right after that massive surge of adrenaline comes a crash. But because the biology of that crash is still a bit of a mystery, your brain misinterprets what's going on. It assumes the knot in your stomach means you did something terribly wrong. It thinks the physical crash literally feels like regret. But what if I told you it doesn't have to be this way? What if you could retrain your system so that you can walk away from a hard conversation feeling a deep, solid wave of pride instead of panic? To stop that physical crash from dictating your life, we have to change how you view your own voice. Let's reframe it. Simply having a preference, a boundary, or a different opinion is not an attack on someone else. I want you to think about it this way. Unless you're walking into a room actively trying to pull the pin on a grenade and cause harm, your intention isn't too much. You aren't doing anything wrong by speaking up. You're simply existing with your own unique set of wants and needs. You're letting people know where you stand, what you need, and who you are. That's not warfare. It's just honest communication. Just recently, I actually had my own situation that I really wasn't looking forward to. I was going to bring up a certain topic with my mom, and I had no clue how she was going to react. I played my different options out, and I imagined what her reactions could be. I wanted to be prepared for anything. So, the time came. I brought up what I needed to say, and she actually responded in the best way possible. But even then, I still had that feeling of the crash. I thought, oh, is that it? Where's the other shoe that's going to drop? So here's what I did to help me in that situation. I reminded myself that this is what I had hoped for. It was literally the best response I could have asked for. And it was possible that what I was feeling wasn't regret or anxiety, but relief. So I want to do an exercise with you. If you're in a safe space to do so, go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. Picture yourself finishing a hard conversation. You said what you needed to say without watering it down. And you didn't launch into a frantic apology just to keep them happy. The conversation ends. and you just let it be. Instead of your mind instantly spinning into that loop of overthinking, instead of analyzing their facial expressions or panicking about doing damage control, you just feel this quiet, solid nod inside yourself. There's a quiet voice that says, "Wow, I did that. It was tough, but I said what I needed to say, and I'm really proud of how I handled it." Take a few moments to just feel how amazing and peaceful and free that reality would be. Let that feeling sink in. I want you to know that this kind of peace isn't reserved for a lucky few. It isn't a fairy tale, and it's not out of your reach. It is a tangible reality that is entirely available to you. The only reason you aren't experiencing it yet isn't because you lack the capacity to be confident and assertive. It's simply because nobody has ever handed you the roadmap to recognize what's really happening. You don't lack the strength or the courage. You just lack the mechanics. And you don't have to figure those out on your own. This is exactly why I created my Foundations of Assertiveness Bootcamp. Inside, you and I are going to step into this exact space together. I'm going to break down the practical, step-by-step tools you need to handle the adrenaline, stop that post-conversation panic, and make that feeling of pride in yourself your actual reality. And it's totally free. If you're ready to stop letting tricky conversations steal your peace, click the link down in the description to have day 1 sent to you immediately. You've got this, and I can't wait to see you inside. Talk to you soon.